locomotives. They are built to serve the humans of Earth, to work hard and never complain. And that was my job. I was built in 1900, a tank engine, which would later become known as the London, Brighton and South Coast Railway E2 class. I was a dominant engine, one of the strongest engines on Sodor at the time, when I was sent to work on the Kirk-Renan branch. Kirk-Renan, what a funny name for a branch line. Let alone, I was the most respected engine on the branch, and the strongest. The engines adored me, but I hated the controller at the time. He was too happy, too go-lucky. He seemed not a proper controller. And I seemed pretty happy when he died. He didn't seem much of a prophet either. What a controller he was. He was too kind for my liking, and to me, he didn't know how to run a railway. All he cared about was making friends with the engines, not doing his job. And then we got a new controller. All he cared about was making money than the other engines, but I didn't care. He seemed like a proper controller, and he seemed like one that would work hard, and I became his favorite engine, bringing him the most amount of money, other than the other engines who didn't like him. I was on top of the world, the most strongest tank engine on Sodor. Nothing could be in my way. But then, he arrived. This tank engine was older than me, and he had been used for a very long time. Who was this imposter? Well, I have to say, as an imposter he wasn't that good of an engine either. He was too old, and he looked like me, an exact imposter, and later to become known as a prototype for the E2 class. Not me. This engine stole everything from me. Everyone liked him more than they liked me. And then one day, I learned that one of my closest friends was killed in an accident. And this imposter of a tank engine was the engine responsible. He said it was an accident. Me and the controller didn't think so. He had killed one of my best friends. What I thought was murder. But the trouble didn't end there. This ridiculous excuse for an E2 tank engine was so profitable that he closed down our line due to him being too old and too expensive. I felt sorry for my controller. He had to deal up with this. And I wanted revenge. After that, I was sent to work on the outskirts of Sodor, somewhere called Barrow and Furness. I hated that place. All I did was shunt trains around and just pull slow goods trains, not the fast passenger trains that I pulled back in my early days. But it only got worse. In 1914, I was brought back to Sodor once I learned that my master, the controller that nobody liked except me, was now the controller of Sodor. I never felt so happy in my life. Finally, I get to show the world what I was really about. But no, that didn't happen. The London, Brighton and South Coast Railway had retired one of their engines. And it was him. When he came back, all hell broke loose for me. He became too expensive to run, and all the engines liked him more than they liked me. I was just left in the sidings, and I felt the pain that the controller felt. This stupid excuse for a tank engine was stealing my pride. Our pride. Other than the other engines, my crew was properly trained. But still, all the other engines complained, including him. And then one day, my master came and spoke to me. He said that this imposter was going to be sent for scrap once he was going to take a train to the Midlands. I was happy. Finally, I get the life I truly wanted. But oh boy, was I wrong. The very next day, I would come to learn that my master and 25 others was killed in a tragic train accident over the viaduct we were building. And when I looked to see who the engine was, I was infuriated. The coward! He killed many lives that night, including my master! And after that, I lost all respect in the Northwestern Railway. It was after this that I started to wake up. After my master's death, a new fat hat took command of the railway, and he thought I was non-profitable, and he sent me over to the mainland to work on some other railway. This railway will become known as the Sodor and London Railway. Oh boy, did I hate it. All I did was just shunt trains around and pull dirty freight cars. I didn't get to pull any coaches. And that's when I really began to lose my mind. After seeing the horrors of what would become known as World War I got an idea. What if I got revenged? One of our main spots on that line was an old scrapyard and factory. I had decided to take revenge for what happened. And so, beginning in 1919, one by one, I would take another steam locomotive to the scrapyard, saying that there was work to be done. And when I had the chance, I would push them into the furnace, where they were burned to death, screaming in pain, while I laughed and watched them die. Yeah. Each engine I killed, my pleasure for killing got more and more excited. Over the next 10 years, I would kill 27 engines, each one for the lives that were lost because of that coward of a tank engine that ruined my life. And after that, I would cover my tracks. I would say that each one of these engines were reckless, they would cause numerous accidents, and that I had personally sent them away, and that they had found proper homes in other railways. And the people believed it. They believed them, those cowards. But my mind was lost. My mind was out of control. I wanted more. More pleasure. By the end of 1931, I had killed 3 more engines. And again, I had covered my tracks. But I was far from saving. I was mentally disabled. Evil. I would purposely push trucks over cliffs, bang the coaches until they would fall off their wheels, and I would kill innocent people, even children that strayed onto the line. Everyone feared me. That's why they never even feared to scrap me. I became known as the Death Engine, and boy did I love it! But it all came to an end. At nighttime after work, I would come to sleep at the scrapyard where I murdered those engines. But one night, in September of 1939, I became a spirit. I was just mocking over the wrecked remains of who I had killed, and said how a nuisance they were. I thought I was safe. I thought I was invincible. I was feared by many, but oh, was I wrong. Little did I know, the spirits of the engines that I had killed had united, and one by one, they closed in on my location and chased me around the scrapyard. I thought I was saved inside the engine shed. Little did I know that the claw above me was activated, and as the spirits watched, I was dropped into the furnace, screaming out in dire pain, but nothing could be done to save me. They had got their revenge, and in one mighty explosion, the factory and scrapyard were destroyed, with me in it! I was dead. They had got their revenge, but oh no, am I still alive. I have been the reason for everything that has happened on Sodor. I am the one who caused the boulder incidents. I am the one who has that caused little engine to get killed on the old iron bridge. I have caused everything. But I am too weak. I can't get what I truly want, to end Sodor and that dreaded blue #1 tank engine. But now that I have learned that the coward of a tank engine has gone against his brother and now wants to kill him, I have found my perfect opportunity to rain terror again on Sodor. I will take over that dreaded demon's mind, and I will kill every single one of those dreaded engines. You can't stop me. I am invincible. Timothy couldn't be saved, and now I will take full control of him, and I will get my revenge. Oh, sweet, sweet revenge. Look into my eyes and tell me what you see. I am pure evil. I am Sodor's nightmare, and the fun is only beginning. Ah, ha, 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 ah! The dead has risen. Ah.